Now we'll talk about the fabulous Freebirds, Part 9. We'll continue looking at Georgia Championship Wrestling, the fabulous Freebirds. Jack, pick it up from there.
December the 1st, 1981, Macon Coliseum in Macon, Georgia. Bob Armstrong and Brad Armstrong defeated Terry Gordy and Brian St. John. Then on the 2nd, Municipal Auditorium in Columbus, Big Red and Michael Hayes defeated Terry Gordy and Austin Idol. And then on the 4th, Central High School in Lawrenceville, Georgia, Michael Hayes and Big Red defeated Terry Gordy and the Masked Superstar. Then on the 5th, WTBS Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, Austin Idol and Terry Gordy defeated Rick Benefield and Action Mike Jackson. December the 7th, Bell Auditorium, Augusta, Georgia. Leroy Brown and Big Red defeated Austin Idol and Terry Gordy by disqualification. And then also on the 7th, Bell Auditorium in Augusta, Georgia, Super Destroyer defeated Michael Hayes. Then on the 8th, Tifton High School Gymnasium in Tifton, Georgia, Bob Armstrong and Brad Armstrong defeated Terry Gordy and the French Angel. And at the Municipal Auditorium in Columbus on the 12th, Big Red defeated Terry Gordy by disqualification. And then on the 9th, again, 1981 Municipal Auditorium in Columbus, Tommy Rich and Michael Hayes defeated Masked Superstar and Super Destroyer. Central States Championship Wrestling on the 10th, Memorial Hall in Kansas City, Kansas. Terry Gordy defeated Buzz Tyler. And then Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling on the 11th. Park Golden Gloves Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee. Michael Hayes defeated Terry Gordy in a Texas death match.
By the way, by this time, George Scott is gone. They got rid of him from being the booker. Ole Anderson is back, and Bob Armstrong is the assistant booker at this point in time. On television on December 12th, Austin Idol went against Vinny Valentino. Austin Idol would not let the figure 4 go. Michael Hayes came in. Gordy comes in right after that. They double up on him. And then Bob Armstrong comes to help. And you'll see why, because in the arenas, Bob Armstrong is going against Terry Gordy many times. Rodney?
Okay, we come up on December the 12th, 1981. Memorial Auditorium in Chattanooga, Tennessee is Bob and Brad Armstrong defeating Terry Gordy and Buzz Sawyer. Back at Memorial Auditorium again on the same night, it's Tommy Rich and Michael Hayes defeating the Masked Superstar and Super Destroyer. Then we go to the Omni in Atlanta on the 13th of December, 1981. Terry Gordy defeats El Grand Apollo. Same night at the Omni, it's Austin Idol defeating Michael Hayes. Bell Auditorium, Augusta, Georgia on December the 14th, 1981. Michael Hayes, Bob Armstrong, and Big Red defeat Terry Gordy, Ray Stevens, and the Super Destroyer. The Coliseum, Gaston, Alabama on December the 18th, 1981. Tommy Rich and Michael Hayes defeat the Masked Superstar and Terry Gordy. Back Memorial Auditorium, Chattanooga, Tennessee on December the 19th, 1981. Michael Hayes defeats Mike Sharp, or we used to call him Rusty Mike Dull. Cobb County Civic Center, December 20th, 1981. Tommy Rich and Michael Hayes defeat Ole Anderson and the Superstar. The Omni on December the 25th, Christmas night, 1981. Jimmy Garvin defeats Terry Gordy by disqualification. Same night, Austin Idol defeats Michael Hayes with 2 referees in that match. December the 26th, 1981, Memorial Auditorium, Chattanooga, Tennessee, is Bob Armstrong defeating Terry Gordy by disqualification in a lumberjack match. Bell Auditorium, Augusta, Georgia, December the 26th, same day. It's the Super Destroyer defeating Michael Hayes in a Texas death match. Ohio Center in Columbus, Ohio, December the 27th, 1981. Big Red defeats Terry Gordy. Then we go to Memorial Hall in Springfield, Ohio. December the 29th, 1981, it's Brad Armstrong defeating Terry Gordy. Macon Coliseum, December the 30th, 1981. Mr. Wrestling number 2 defeats Terry Gordy by disqualification. January 1st, 1982, the Omni. It's Stan Hansen versus Terry Gordy. It ended without a winner, as it was a no contest. Memorial Auditorium, Municipal Auditorium, rather, in Columbus, Georgia on January the 1st, 1982, is Mr. Wrestling number 2 defeating Terry Gordy. And of course, that was the winner as it was a time limit draw.
Right after, during this point in time on television, I don't know if y'all have seen this. I could not get the clip to come up right, but Michael Hayes comes on television, and his music starts. It plays. He comes out, and evidently he's mad. Okay, he's mad because he says this in his interview, and I will try to insert this if I can get it to play right. But basically, what he says in the deal, he says, people out there, they get mad because they don't like my music, which I believe was probably Ole Anderson in the back saying, get your out there and do that interview. I don't care about your music. And I actually censored that. And he comes out and he says, well, people don't like my music. And if they don't like it, they can get the out of my face on television. And Gordon Soley looks at him like, did you just use the F-bomb on television?
Michael Hayes, the original fabulous Freebird. Here's the man who's going out. Everybody says Michael Hayes is crazy. He plays all this music. If you don't like my music, you ain't got to use it. Get the out of my face. Now, I got people all over the country want to see it. Georgia Championship Wrestling. We go to Dayton, Camp, Zanesville, Ashland, and Charleston to rock and roll.
He does this, and I'm going to try to put this in at this point, and so people can see that it's crazy. It's nuts. By the way, Michael Hayes is not back on television after this. He does still work there, but he does not get to come back on TBS. I mean, if you can't trust him, I don't know why they played it because this was done on a morning. I don't know why they didn't just put a 30-second commercial or something in there.
Did it beep?
Yes, it did beep.
Okay.
Yes, it did beep it out.
And if you didn't see him on television for a few weeks, that's because the powers that be at TBS said they did not want him back on there.
Very interesting, but he does do this. All right, Jack.
January 2nd, 1982, Memorial Auditorium in Greenville, South Carolina for Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. Michael Hayes defeated Terry Gordy. And on the 3rd, Cobb Civic Center in Marietta, Georgia, Terry Gordy defeated Leroy Brown. Then on the 3rd, Cobb Civic Center in Marietta, Georgia, Jim Garvin versus Terry Gordy ended without a winner as a double countout. Then on the 4th, at the Hare Arena in Trotwood, Ohio, Terry Gordy and Super Destroyer defeated Michael Hayes and Mr. Wrestling #2. And then we moved to Ashland, Kentucky on January the 6th, 1982. Brad Armstrong and Bob Armstrong defeated Ron Bass and Terry Gordy. Then the Civic Center in Charleston, West Virginia on the 7th, Bob Armstrong and Michael Hayes defeated Terry Gordy and Super Destroyer. January the 11th, 1982, for Georgia Championship Wrestling, Memorial Auditorium in Greenville, South Carolina, Michael Hayes defeated the Ninja.
Hey, by the way, I think that was Mid-Atlantic Championship.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I wrote that down wrong. All right.
Still with Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, on the 17th, Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, Michael Hayes and Jimmy Valiant defeated Terry Gordy and Austin Idol. Then at the Township Auditorium in Columbia, South Carolina, on the 19th, Jake Roberts versus Terry Gordy, winner unknown. Then to the Asheville Civic Center in Asheville, North Carolina, on the 31st, Blackjack Mulligan and Ray Stevens defeated Ole Anderson and Terry Gordy. Then we'll back up a few days to the 25th of January 1982, Memorial Auditorium in Greenville, South Carolina, the Ninja and Austin Idol defeated Michael Hayes and Ray Stevens.
By the way, during this time, Ole Anderson booking both territories, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and Georgia Championship Wrestling at the same time. This is the reason you see all the different talent moving from one another. Great idea, by the way. Probably didn't make the talent very happy, but tremendous stuff at this time. You can tell the difference. You can tell the difference in the booking. You can tell Ole's back. Bob Armstrong also has a lot to do with the finishes and stuff that's going on at this time. Tremendous stuff. Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, we know where they're at. Buddy Roberts, I have no clue where he's at during this point in time. I cannot find anything about any matches he's had. I don't know if he was sick. I don't know if he decided to retire during this point in time. But he is nowhere to be seen. And now he could have been booking something. I don't know. But I do not find him anywhere. He does resurface, we know, because He's there at World Class Championship Wrestling. But I don't know where he's at this point in time. But the next one is part 10. We already have that done. We've established that. If you watched our lives, we've established that we have that number 10 done. Terry Gordy, Michael Hayes, both go to Southeastern Championship Wrestling. And by the way, for those folks who say, oh, they only went there because they were in trouble and they did something wrong and they went, no. They made a lot of money while they were there. And it's a transition to get Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy back as tag team partners and come back to Atlanta. And we'll see all that take place after we see Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy battle each other with some sellout crowds in Dothan, Alabama. And there are video available that you can watch. If you enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the page, go one step further, hit that notification bell, and watch the fabulous Freebirds playlist right there next to Rodney. It'll help you out there.